You will not live in my community without my permission. That's the first thing I heard from the HOA president. Yep, she actually screamed it on the day I was trying to move into my legally purchased lakeside home. Now, most people would probably think that was just some paperwork mix-up or maybe some kind of cranky neighbor hazing the new guy. I did too. I was wrong, dead wrong. This woman, Barbara Garcia, took what should have been my peaceful retirement dream and twisted it into a waking nightmare, the likes of which I'd never seen. But here's the thing she didn't know about me. Not really. And when the truth finally came out, well, let's just say her reaction broke the internet. So buckle up, because when you mess with the wrong person, especially someone with my background, things get wild fast. Go ahead and drop a comment and let me know where you're watching from, because I promise you, you've never heard a neighborhood story like this. The whole circus started on what should have been the best day of my retirement. I'm Frank Rogers, ex-federal investigator, battle-scarred from decades of chasing fraudsters and dirty politicians, finally looking to slow down and spend my days fishing at Crystal Cove Estates. It's one of those lakeside communities where the most exciting thing ought to be whose lawn is greenest or whose grandkids visit the most. I did everything by the book, every form, every fee, every HOA approval. Hell, I submitted architectural plans half a year in advance just to make sure nothing could go wrong. But that didn't matter, not to Barbara Garcia. She wasn't interested in paperwork, she cared about control. So picture this, my U-Haul's idling behind her luxury sedan, which is parked smack in the middle of the main entrance like it's some kind of checkpoint, Charlie. She steps out, business suit sharp enough to cut glass, clipboard glued to her hand. Designer shades, hair styled to within an inch of its life, smile that says she'd rather eat glass than see you happy. She looks like she's here to sell you a timeshare, but all she's selling is misery. "Mr. Rogers," she says, peering at her clipboard like it's the Rosetta Stone. "I'm Barbara Garcia, president of the Crystal Cove Homeowners Association. You cannot move into this community without proper authorization." I'm sitting in my truck thinking, lady, I've got the deed, the mortgage, the whole 9 yards. I show her my approval letters. She just waves a hand like I'm a waiter who brought the wrong drink. "Those are preliminary approvals," she tells me, talking down like I'm 6 years old. "You need to pass the final community integration assessment, background check, compatibility review." She's inventing half these terms on the fly, but says it so confidently you'd almost believe her. And just my luck, the whole neighborhood's watching, peeking out from behind curtains, pretending to check their mail. Nobody stepping in, nobody speaking up. That told me everything I needed to know about how Barbara ran things. So I try reason one more time. "Ma'am, I've done everything required by the HOA. Can we just schedule whatever this assessment is for later? I just want to get my stuff inside before it rains." Wrong move. Her smile drops like a guillotine. "You understand nothing, Mr. Rogers," she snaps. "This is a private community with strict standards. Maybe Crystal Cove isn't the right fit for you." The nerve telling me to leave a house I just bought. But I held my ground, said I'm not leaving. So Barbara dials 911 like she's reporting a home invasion. "Yes, I need the police. Someone is attempting unauthorized entry into our private community. She's giving my license plate, describing me like I'm a fugitive. Her whole performance is worthy of an Oscar. And it only gets better when the cops show up. Deputy Mike Clark, who looks like he's had his fill of HOA nonsense this month. He reviews my paperwork, confers with Barbara, comes back with a face that says, 'I wish I was anywhere else.' 'Mr. Rogers, you legally own property here, so you have a right to access, but Mrs. Garcia claims there are additional requirements. I can't remove you, but I can't force her to move either. This is a civil matter.' Translation, the cops can't help me, and Barbara knows it. She parks her BMW sideways at the gate, sets up a folding chair, and settles in for a siege. 'You're welcome to sit here, but you're not coming in without proper authorization,' she calls out like she's guarding Fort Knox. And she really ramps it up the next day. Pop-up tent traffic cones, a clipboard with paperwork that looks like it came from the Pentagon. Community access application. Asking for my Social Security employment history references, a $500 expedited review fee. The gear she's using isn't cheap. Real walkie-talkies, reflective vests, professional signage. I'm thinking, where is she getting all this stuff? And why is her walkie-talkie crackling with actual voices? That's when Barbara takes it to another level. She circles my truck, making notes, snapping pictures, writing down my VIN. Then she points to a tire iron on my passenger seat, standard roadside kit, nothing unusual. Sir, step out. You're carrying what appears to be a weapon. I almost laughed. That's a tire iron, ma'am. But she's on her phone shrieking, "Base, we have an escalation." The individual is armed and refusing to comply. Next thing I know, 3 patrol cars show up, Deputy Clark among them. He checks, sees it's just a tool. But Barbara won't quit. She starts spinning a story about threats, intimidation, danger to the community. The officers finally ask, who authorized this checkpoint? Did you get permits to block the road? Barbara launches into her community safety spiel, but it's clear even the cops think she's nuts. That's when Maria Santos, a neighbor, comes out with her phone recording everything. It's the first crack in Barbara's facade. And as soon as the cops leave, Barbara radios her mysterious base. Again, phase 2 protocols. Who is she talking to? 3 days later, I'm woken at my motel by a process server with city violations fines for unauthorized occupation, disrupting security, public disturbances. The documents look legit, but after 30 years in federal law enforcement, I know a fake when I see one. Case numbers are wrong, language is off, and they're dated before I even tried to move in. I call the city clerk who can't verify them except the case numbers are in the system. That's when Maria knocks on my door. We need to talk. Now. Turns out Barbara's been running a racket for years, targeting new residents, faking city paperwork, intimidating anyone who questions her authority. Maria's a bookkeeper, so she's got access to records, and she's caught Barbara paying off a city employee manufacturing fake violations and using HOA money like her own piggy bank. We get Deputy Clark involved, and he goes pale when he realizes the scale federal crimes document forgery conspiracy. But here's the twist. Barbara knew exactly who I was before I ever moved in. She'd done her homework, knew I was ex-FBI, and had been researching ways to get rid of me. She'd been tipped off by someone higher up, and as we dig deeper, it's clear this wasn't just about me or even just Crystal Cove. We catch Barbara red-handed at the casino, gambling HOA funds, writing checks from the association's account, blowing thousands at poker. Maria gets it all on video, and Pete Murphy, the ex-treasurer, supplies financial records showing Barbara's been embezzling for years, $67,000, missing even the emergency fund for last winter's storm. Her own daughter, Jessica, finds out her college fund is gone, gambled away by her mom. The family blows up, and when Barbara breaks into my house to plant fake evidence toy guns she hoped to discover during a so-called inspection, Jessica records her and I catch her live on my security cameras. Barbara tries to bluff it out, citing me for weapons violations, but Deputy Clark arrives, sees the evidence, and the whole scheme unravels. Turns out she'd done this to at least 4 other families, planting evidence, forcing them out, collecting departure fees. It was a protection racket disguised as HOA management. At the next HOA meeting, a spectacle she planned with the media. Watching Barbara tries to put me on trial. She waves fake FBI reports, fake psychological evaluations, and photos of the arsenal she planted in my house. But Maria, Pete, and Jessica confront her with the truth videos, financial records, proof of everything. Barbara's still trying to bluff when 2 federal agents arrive. They're not here for me, they're here for her. As I reveal my own badge, Barbara's world literally stops. She freezes, jaw open, clipboard crashing to the floor, every camera in the room catching the moment her con crumbles. Barbara's arrested, the whole county sees the viral freeze video, and Crystal Cove finally starts to heal. Neighbors come out, talk again, and rebuild what Barbara tried to destroy. Jessica gets a scholarship from the recovered funds, and Maria takes over as HOA president, dissolving Barbara's punitive rules. But the biggest shock comes after Barbara's arrest. A letter arrives listing 12 other communities with the same fraud pattern. Turns out Barbara wasn't a lone wolf. She was just one operator in a multi-state racket. Agent Johnson tells me the investigation's gone national, and suddenly my quiet retirement looks like the starting line for a new battle. So tell me, have you ever caught someone lying to your face, someone you trusted? What happened when you finally exposed the truth? Drop your story in the comments and let's talk about justice. If you've ever faced an HOA horror story, or if you think it could never happen in your neighborhood, think again. Follow and stick around, because the fight for honest communities is just getting started.